All right, fam, we back. More C Sports Talk. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking back in with your boy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Feeling a little bit better, still under the weather, but hey, we working. Let's talk a little bit about how the Detroit Pistons Grant healed Blake Griffin, at least in the meantime. All right, not saying it's going to permanently damage Blake Griffin, how they handled him, but they mishandled him last year. Let's talk a little bit about it and how pretty much there's no trade market for Blake Griffin right now. Go back to last year. In the beginning of the year, they rolled Blake Griffin too much. I mean, they lost 15 out of 17 and still was playing Blake Griffin 40 minutes. Remember the game versus Washington last year in January, and they was losing, and Dwayne Casey just didn't want to give Blake Griffin load management. I'm not talking about where he sat out the game, where he wanted to just send him on the bench and give him a rest, and they was losing games. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it began. You got to know your team, and Blake Griffin is not a guy that can play 40 minutes for 82 games a season. And they used Blake Griffin all up. And by the time they needed him down the stretch, he was nowhere to be found. So that's where you establish the injury coming in at. The injury was he was playing too much. And now in today's age, even with the advanced technology, these players not built the same as some older players was, where they could play 40 minutes and get on a team bus and go to the next town, or go through the airport and get on a commercial flight and go to the next town. A lot of these dudes built a little bit different. They not as sturdy as Wilt or as sturdy as a Charles Barkley was in their day. And that's okay. Everybody is not going to be, the Iron Man, all right, durable. But they mishandled Blake. They should have gave Blake more load management, and they didn't. And when Blake first got here, he got injured. People forget that as well, too. In case he just rolled him too long, man. And then you get to the second half of the season, and he injured, and he playing on one leg, and they shut him down at one point, and then for whatever reason they tried to avoid the sweep versus Milwaukee, and they brought him back, and he playing on the ankle. I'm thinking about Green Hill, playing on the knee. And pretty much, he ended up having to have arthroscopic knee surgery. And then they forced him to come back this season. And now he's no longer the same player. Now, did he do the permanent damage to his knee that Grant did to his ankle? No. But, or at least we don't know now. I don't think it's that bad. But the Pistons made the same mistake. Back when Grant was there, they was chasing nothing. If it's not a championship on the line, you shouldn't put no body part as serious as the knee or the ankle or the Achilles or something like that on the line. The Pistons should have shut down Blake Griffin when he injured his knee. He should have been shut down for the year. Or if he needed that surgery, he should have had the surgery in March last year, April last year. And they should have shut him down and brought him back to when he's healthy. And they didn't do that. This year they tried to rush him back off the knee surgery. They tried to rush him back. And he's still not the same. No matter how much he don't look the same, he a game time decision. He try to play. And what he's doing is he's hurting the offense. When they trying to get up and down the floor, Blake Griffin, is limping up the floor. Count your right now. They making him into a non-tradable asset. Now, had he been balling like he was before the All-Star break, that's when the Pistons should have traded him. Third team All-NBA Blake, All-Star Blake. They could have traded him then. They could have traded him in the offseason. It was the talks that the Mavericks was interested. The Hawks was interested. They could have traded him in the offseason. But now, since they ran him down, he has to audition, and there's not enough time to audition. He not healthy from January to February trade down. They stuck with the contract until he performs. He's not going to perform in that limited amount of time. So what should they do? Rest him. And it's a perfect time for them to sell. But they waited so long to sell that Reggie broken up. Andre Drummond don't have a big market. Only guys on the team, Luke Kennard got injured, Only guy on the team that got a market that you willing to part ways with is Derrick Rose. If you wanted to part ways with. But they've turned Blake Griffin into a non-tradable asset because he's not healthy. The Pistons are a day late and a dollar short. All these trades should have happened last year. If your goal with a salary cap and the luxury tax they in now is to be an 8th seed and a 7th seed, how stupid can you be? You can't be that dumb. With a salary cap like that, you better be at least a fourth seed. Okay? You better be at least a 4th seed or higher. Or lower, excuse me. But now there's no market for Blake Griffin. They stuck with his $36, $40 million a year contract. Which ain't all bad. It's not all bad because, you can let Dre walk and test the market, and you don't like it, he can walk. You got that salary cap off. Reggie's salary come off next year. So you don't really have no other big contract other than like Tony Snell, $11, $12 million a year contract. So you can rebuild around Blake Griffin or rebuild around Blake. And then when Blake gets into his final year or when Blake starts playing well, you can move that contract off the roster. The Pistons are almost in an ideal situation to rebuild just like the Lions are. You got an opportunity to start off fresh and do things the right way. From scratch. The Pistons are almost at that point. Like I said, if they lose Dre and Reggie for nothing, you don't really lose them for nothing. You get cap space. Then next year you go into a year where you tank. You be bad. You try to get a lottery pick. You want to hit on that lottery pick, and you keep going. But who I feel bad for is for Blake Griffin because he deserves to be in Derrick Rose. They deserve to be in the championship hunt at this point in their career. They can no longer be the best player on the championship caliber team. Their bodies won't allow them to. Blake Griffin needs the load management that Kawhi getting to be successful in this league, and that's okay. Because everybody doing it. If LeBron, the league didn't go to LeBron and say, we need you to play, it's okay. Tim Duncan did it. Ginobili, Parker did it. It's all right to get that load management. But the Pistons trying to force something that's not there. It's not a good basketball team. Too many old players on here. Too many broken down players on here. It's time to burn it down and do it the right way. You got to have Blake be a part of it until Blake come back and play well. Now, if you rest Blake and he come back and play well towards the end of the season, then the offseason you can trade him. As long as his medical check out. But right now, Blake Griffin ain't tradable. And you're not gonna get nowhere near market value for Andre Drummond. And even Luke Kennard's value is dropping due to recurring injuries. So now guys that you refuse to throw into trades, like Luke Kennard last year for Mike Conley, whatever that trade was, you refused to put Luke Kennard in the trade. Now look at Luke Kennard. Look at him. He's just broken down. The Pistons are valuing players that shouldn't be valued as high. They're very high on players that shouldn't be high on. They see something in players that nobody else sees. But it is what it is, man. Blake hopefully don't go through that traumatic experience Grant did trying to play on one leg for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That man don't have any value right now. Not because he can't play, because his health and the length and how much his contract is. But they played the game wrong. To begin with, he got here, he got injured. That should let you know, okay, we got to map up a plan for Blake. Okay, we want Blake to play the home games. Let's rest him on the road then. If that's a problem where you want people to come out and watch Blake, rest him on the road then. You know what I'm saying? Come out with a schedule where we're going to keep him fresh. But they didn't do that. They just try to play him like he a young, spry guy coming into the league and he durable. But they mismanaged that. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Motor City Sports Talk. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? That information is there. Best way to donate is share the video. And let me know what y'all think about Blake Griffin, his trade status, and how on how the Pistons utilize them. One time for the one time, Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.